Morgan at breakfast
on BBC WM
95.6.
7.5 minutes past 8 now. Immigration experts in the West Midlands are accusing UKIP of scaremongering. Business leaders here saying allowing Romanians and Bulgarians to work here is going to be good for the region. Of course, UKIP had their best ever results in the local elections last week. They gained 139 seats. UKIP, of course, they campaigned hard, particularly on this one matter regarding immigration, this relaxation of the working restrictions on Bulgarians and Romanians, which is due to come into force in January. However, there's one expert at the University of Birmingham who says that there will be no repeat of 2004, when it's estimated that as many as 500,000 Polish people moved here. This is what Jenny Fillmore told me an hour ago.
Since 2007, Bulgarians and Romanians have had the right to travel across Europe. They've also been able to get work permits very, very easily. It's not as if anything much is changing for Romanians and Bulgarians in 2014.
We can speak now to the Romanian Ambassador Ion Jinga, who's on the line now. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, in January, restrictions are going to be lifted for migrants to come into this country, to come to the UK. Do you think we're going to see an increase of Eastern Europeans?
No, and I fully agree with what your expert has said, because all evidence, reports and statistics suggest that mass migration from Romania to the UK already happened, and that Britain is not a preferred destination for Romanians seeking jobs.
So where are they? Where are they wanting to go? If it's not the UK, where do they want to go?
First of all, after 6 years since we have joined the European Union, more than 3 million Romanians already work abroad. So Romania has almost exhausted its potential to export workers. And because our economy experiences now growth, and because growth cannot be achieved without our most valuable asset, which is the labor force, we certainly do not want our people leaving the country.
What is it, and for those that are going to be leaving the country and maybe coming to the UK, what is it that the people from Romania can offer us? What can they bring to our workforce, to our country?
Thank you for your question, because I will quote a BBC survey released on 22nd of April, showing that only 0.4% of Romanian adults that think to move abroad have UK in their mind. And most people interested in coming to the UK said they would only move with a firm offer of work. And more than, it is very interesting to notice that Romanians who are interested in working in Britain are more likely to have a university degree, they are more likely to be employed, and they are likely to have their own financial resources. And I was quoting from the results of the BBC survey.
OK. Jon, just wait there for me 1 second. I just want to bring in Mike Nattrass, the West Midlands UKIP MEP, is on the line now.
Trial.
Morning, Mike.
Good morning, Pete.
Scaremongering?
No, we're not scaremongering, and I noticed that we've got a problem here between the word work and immigration. What UKIP are saying is we don't want open borders with the EU. We're quite happy for people to come here and work on a work permit, because this country should decide who comes to the country. They shouldn't just wander in and claim benefits and stay in the country and do all the other things that they do and don't do. They should be invited in or apply for work permits. So when we're free of the EU, and this is the problem, we have open borders with the EU, anybody can come in. When we have our independence back, they can apply, or that is to say employers can apply for work permits should they need people. So if there's 30 fruit pickers needed in Herefordshire or whatever it is by some employer, he can apply for those permits, but they've got to go back after they finish the job.
But that situation, the work permit situation is there now. That's in place at the moment.
No, it isn't. I'm sorry, you're wrong. This is open borders with the EU. We're not talking about outside the EU. There isn't a work permit system with the EU. They can come over here and do what they like. Outside of the EU, you're right, there are work permits, but not with our open borders, with 27 other nations within the EU, not just the Romanians and the Bulgarians. We're not particularly targeting them at all.
Oh, I think you were.
we were opening the eyes of the electorate that was the next phase of what was happening, because in January we can allow the Romanians and Bulgarians through the borders with no bars attached at all. They can just come here.
So how many people are going to be coming in then?
Well, we don't know that. We just know how many people there are in Romania, and that it's like saying there are 450 million people in Europe altogether, and any of them can come here, and a proportion will come here, and they do. And the problem is that we've got housing shortages, we've got an unemployment situation, roads, hospitals, schools are all being used too heavily, and yet we're having more people in our population. We've already got 60 million. I think we should try and employ those and deal with those before we allow more people into the country. That's our policy. All we want to do is to see who's coming in and try to accommodate that situation. And if people are needed to come here and work, so be it. Let them come in.
Well, no, because if I remember rightly, one of your policies, you want a freeze on immigration. So that's not. But that's not seeing who comes in. That's just not allowing anybody.
No, that is absolutely right. We want an initial freeze on immigration to ascertain if we need any more, and then we're going to make employers apply for work permits to allow people in. And if we have essential workers, if there aren't people in the area who will do the job, because local people should be asked if they can be employed first, we shouldn't allow these people just to wander in. And of course, it's not just working here. They can come here and do anything. I'm afraid that the statistics in London for crime are very high, and a lot of those crime figures are about migrants, unfortunately. I'm not making this up. These are the statistics. Okay. And of course, we do know that they come here without jobs, and you've seen them on the street.
Okay, so, well, we've got, as you've heard, we've been speaking to Ion Jinga, who's the Romanian ambassador. Obviously, this man is in touch with his population on a regular basis. What message would you give to him?
I'd say I've got nothing against Romanians or Bulgarians whatsoever. I think it's a shame they're losing people from their country because they need them there. You know very well he's just said that more than 3 million have already left. And when it becomes more easy for them to leave at the end of the year, he's going to lose a lot more. I think that's a shame for Romania, it's a shame for Bulgaria, because they should be building their economies. What we should be trying to do is target those countries and give them some help so that they can keep people there and employ them.
And I just want to come to you. Can you afford to lose skilled workers?
Certainly not. But what I would like to comment on that is that as citizens of the European Union, Romanians are fully entitled to travel and to work all over the European Union. And Romanians in the UK do not ask for a special treatment. They just expect a fair, non-discriminatory status. Similar applies to the other European citizens, including British citizens who live in Romania. And let me say something more, and this is from a personal point of view. I believe Great Britain is a country where Magna Carta Libertatum was written 800 years ago. It is a country that spread civilization all over the world. Again, in such a highly respected democracy, it must be no place for xenophobia, and reason must prevail over emotional approaches when speaking about the free movement of people inside of the European Union.
Okay. Ion, good to speak to you this morning, the Romanian ambassador, Ion Jinga. Mike, always good to talk to you. Thanks very much for coming on this morning. Mike Natras, the West Midlands UKIP MEP. You can get in touch with us if you wish. My number's 81333 on the text. Start your message with WM, or you can call 08453 009956. 16 minutes past 8 now.